Within the ocean depths, Aquaman rushes to save his home planet. He holds the key to save the world from breaking apart. The Zodiac Crystals calls to him. Arthur must set up the crystals before the world shatters. Uptown Metropolis, Cyborg reawakens from the swarm attack. Things are different now. Cyborg isn't just connected to the swarm. He is controlling them. The Flash radios in. He is doing okay for now, but Barry needs his team to get to his destination ASAP. Earth's core, Superman destroys another extinction machine. One more to go. Elsewhere, Cyborg and Batman, via a boom tube, reaches the Scarlet Speedster, and Wonder Woman ejects from one of the entity. The Flash lost his speed, but who stole it from who? The Kindred thinks that the speed is theirs? No! The Speed Force was created the moment he got struck by lightning. The Speed Force is his to command, and Barry wants it back. The Flash propels his body forward, as if he can call back what was stolen from him. The Kindred can feel it, his speed diminishing. Cyborg calls on the Lanterns to get ready, while Aquaman races towards the next destination to set up the Zodiac Crystals. Superman can barely breathe, his lungs are burning. Hell, everything is burning. He can barely stay conscious. But Clark has got one more machine to go before he can leave Earth's core. The rest of the League desperately attempts to separate the four entities, but to no avail. Suddenly, the rookie Lanterns return home, and they have company. Simon Buzz created a construct that funneled hundreds of thousands of the alien beings. He brought them home, and he unleashes them onto the four entities. The green light begins to vanish from the Lantern's rings, but Barry Allen informs his friends that their power is theirs, not these beings. Take it back. And take them down. Finally, Arthur is finished with the Zodiac Crystals. They activate, and with a blast of radiant light, the world holds together. The final crystal gets jammed into one of the entities. They know that they are losing, but they waited centuries for this moment, so they push on. Superman could not finish his mission by pushing the last machine into Earth's inner core, so he takes it topside. Superman can feel it. It is time. The machine emits an energy wave meant for Earth's outer core, but instead, it blasts the four entities into oblivion. The innocent civilians that make up the four entities are safe. The world is at peace again. And with that, Superman leaves the Justice League. His family awaits. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and I feel like I just wasted my time on all of this. Fair warning, guys, this isn't going to be a great review for Brian Hitch's Justice League run. I'm basically going to rip it apart to nitpick and point out how disappointed I am with all of this series, and how sad I am that I will be dropping my coverage of the Justice League. Okay, so let's get into what I thought about this issue and the whole Extinction Machine story arc from Brian Hitch's Justice League run. Now, I knew it would be hard to follow Jeff Johns' successful run of the Justice League, but wow, we got this hot mess of a story. I don't know who the bad guys are. Is it the Kindred? I assume that they are the four entities. Are the bad guys the Purge? I don't know what the Purge is except for seeing a bunch of swarms that attack Cyborg and then a bunch of aliens that look like Cyborg. So let's discuss all of the convenient factors to this story. Arthur accidentally finds a bunch of artifacts in his Atlantean museum called the Zodiac Crystals. Their purpose is to be the superglue that holds the world together. Convenience. The two Lanterns left Earth's orbit and somehow stumbles onto a wormhole while not looking for it that leads them directly to the source of the missiles? Convenience. Cyborg again becomes a bridge between an alien language and us. He again manages to tap in and controls a techno-organic species to do his will. Convenience. And then this brings me to another problem. The Justice League has absolutely no knowledge on the Purge except Cyborg, of course. So, Cyborg, being the instant expert on the Purge, decides to ask the Lanterns to bring hundreds of thousands of aliens to Earth, not knowing if they carry any viruses that could wipe out the entire world, so they can give the entities a golden shower? Come on! The reveal that there were a bunch of Cyborg lookalikes was pretty cool, but this was our payoff? Was it even addressed as to why these aliens look like Cyborg? I assume it's because Cyborg tapped into the Purge, so somehow the enslaved aliens started transforming into Cyborg. This is just a wild guess because I honestly do not know. It is true, comic books are very far-fetched, but I can buy it within the realm of make-believe, but this is too much. Okay, let's get into another thing that I'm gonna rip apart. We know Green Lantern's source of power is their will. The ring harnesses their will and turns it into a weapon. Well, Barry Allen's willpower made it so that he reclaims his speed force. That is fine, but then we got a scene where the Lanterns returned to Earth. The moment they came close to the four entities, they started losing their willpower. But then the Flash gave them a lecture on willpower, so Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz started to focus and they regained their will. This is one of the most trickiest things when writing Green Lanterns. You can essentially take any superhero and say that he or she has enough willpower to become a Green Lantern. So when Simon Baz was chosen by the ring, why didn't the ring go to Barry? I'll give Jessica a break because her death at the end of the Darkseid War was pretty cool. Okay, so it's Superman's turn to get roasted. There was never a time in this whole story arc where I felt like Superman was in any form of real danger. Batman tells Superman that he's going to the center of the earth on a suicide quest. This is when it gets very predictable. Superman, of course, saves the day by completing his mission. He survives because, well, he just needed to fly away from Earth's core. This is another tricky aspect when writing a scenario where Superman could potentially die. As a reader, I felt like he was not in any real danger at any time during the 5-issue comic series. And then Brian Hitch gets the sloppy seconds when he tries to write about Superman's family values. There is nothing wrong about Hitch bringing in Superman's love for his family, but we as readers already got that kind of story told to us much better by Tomasi and Gleason. I categorize the Justice League as a high-octane rollercoaster ride with so many twists and turns, but throwing in a scene with Superman and his family felt out of place. I know I'm probably gonna get ragged on for saying this, but I gotta share it. Finally, Batman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. We gotta have the full Justice League in any Justice League story arc, but this begs a problem for any writer. How can they give 7 core members something to do? Hitch did a good job giving Arthur something to do, but then that just opens up my complaint about the convenience on the Zodiac crystals. No backstory, and we have no clue where they came from. The ending felt very rushed. It's like Hitch started cooking with a good plan in mind. But then halfway through, the ingredients started turning bad, so he threw everything into a blender and blended the hell out of it. Then he presented it to us as the ending for the extinction machines. I can continue dragging Hitch's work to the ground, but I know I gotta stop. So let's get into some of the good things about Hitch and his story. The art is good. Good job, Tony S. Daniel. My first exposure to Hitch is his Justice League of America series. I had my doubts on it, but I followed it through, and I really enjoyed it. The fight between Rao and Superman is exactly the kind of battle that keeps us Superman fans on the edge of our seat. It isn't power versus power, even though we do get that. Rao has something over Superman, something I don't want to get into, so if you want a great Brian Hitch comic book, I highly suggest that you check out his Justice League of America run. It does fall into continuity, so there's that. And I don't think the story is concluded, or at least I haven't read the final issue yet. Moving forward, I will be stopping my coverage of the Justice League by Brian Hitch. I'm disappointed because I have been following the Justice League since Forever Evil and issue 32. Justice League has been the most covered comic series here on Comic Island, so I am sad that I will be putting the league to the side. But when it feels more of a chore to cover a series, then that's when I know that it's time to give up. But what did you guys think? Did you share my opinions on the Justice League by Brian Hitch, or did you enjoy it? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in another Comic Island video.